and welcome, Joydeep. What a fascinating contest. We wanted a good one and it went pretty much to the wire. Let me start by asking you, I know there've been 250 scored on both sides, but would you give the credit to the bowlers, the death bowlers, or were you still more impressed with the batsmen?
No, kudos to the bowlers. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar showed how good he is. Might not have the same skills, the speed. Maybe he has the same skills. Maybe doesn't have the speed. The commentators were saying that 126, 127. It's probably about 4 or 5 kilometers too less. The odd ball was 133, 144, 134. But you and I were discussing this that under pressure, there are two aspects to the game. One is the skill set, and the other is to be able to do it under pressure. I have seen many good players under pressure succumb, and I have seen a lot of really decent players come on their own because they can handle pressure. So what was really good to see was the fact that under pressure, Harshal Patel is, of course, in the best phase of his life. So he is bowling the best that he can, and he's at the peak of his career. Bhuvi isn't. But in spite of that, when Bhuvi was at the peak of his career, he was one of the best in the world. There's no doubt about it. At one time, Sunrisers Hyderabad team for me were five people. Was David Warner, was Bairstow, was somebody in the middle like a Manish for a while, then was Rashid, and there was Bhuvi. 4 or 5 people. And the rest didn't matter who was playing, as long as they can field well and catch well. But all I'm saying is it's good to see because this is what Rohit is going to him. It just goes to show that when you've played with somebody for a long time, you tend to have a lot of confidence. Now I'm an administrator, a coach. I always feel like going with a seasoned campaigner, somebody who's done it for me before. I get more confidence until there's a junior who actually comes and does this repeatedly. Now Harshal and such, the Harshal, the over he bowled in the 17th over was phenomenal. Bhuvi backed it up. The 18th over. Then Bhuvi backed him in the 19th over. Then Harshal came in the 20th over. And in spite of getting hit for 2 6, a little disappointed with West Indies. I thought they kept it too late. With so many wickets in hand, they could have pressed on the accelerator a little quicker. I can understand you're 5 down, 6 down, and you're waiting for those 10 balls, 25. But when you have 7 wickets in hand, I thought they left it till too late. And that is always a double-edged sword because that can come to bite you back. And like today, you've got so many batters in the heart. What good is that?
That's right. When I saw for 2 wickets, and especially I think these guys had gotten some lives as well, dropped catches, dropped chances. Uh, Definitely, I thought. I mean, I think they had done well. I mean, I feel for Pooran, he was sitting with his pads on and probably lamenting a few things there. But again, kudos to the Indian bowlers. I mean, I think we spoke about earlier that our spinners, Chahal kick started, and then Ravi Bishnoi again looking good. Two back-to-back, pretty decent games. Love the way he caught that, the Skyer. I mean, it's really impressive to see that these youngsters are making the most of it. I always was wondering, I was going to ask you, we've spoken so much about players, feeling do they belong. And when I was watching Harshal ball, I was like, Harshal is in his purple patch, but also now there's a price tag. I wonder if that kind of plays on your mind. But like you mentioned last time, that maybe there are people who believe that I deserve this, I have done this, so I've done well for so long, and it's my time to shine. Harshal looked very cool. I mean, despite those 2 6s, even as a fan, I think one felt that okay. I mean, this is going to be to hit two more would take a Brathwaite like effort in Eden's once again. But kudos to the way Harshal. But Bhuvi, four run over was fantastic. Let's talk about the Indian batting. Rishabh Pant came good. It was this one of those innings where, like you always mentioned, that 6 out of 10 times the man will, have his way. And or did you see something different today?
No, I thought I saw the same. You're right, 6 out of 10. But when it comes off, nothing like it. The only problem was today also. The way he played, it was that's just the way he plays. So you need some backup for that. What if today didn't come off? What if in the 15th or 16th over he got out? Who bats for the last 4 overs? You don't want Deepak Char batting for the last 4 overs. With all due respect to him as a batsman, you want a batter there, which is why I always feel that one of our top 3, 4 need to bat at one end for the other person to go. a little ahead. I think Chase was superb. There was a bit of juice in the pitch. I think there are a couple of balls that turned. The one that got Virat turned, the one that got Surya. He tossed it up in the air, bowled it really slowly. Guile, good old Guile of spin bowling in the T20 version. Really tossed one up. He was bowling everything at 100 and 102, 103. And this one was 91, 92, 87 odd ball. So even he was varying his pace, and that's very important. Of all the great spinners I have played, especially in white ball cricket, what they do is they bowl 6 balls in 4 different paces, especially if the wicket is good. So that you can't miss it. You just don't get any flow because one little. So they're always playing with the pace so that you can't push. And today, a player of Surya's class also got undone by the lack of pace and the guile and the dip and didn't reach it and pushed at it. So this was just bowler's skill being really good today. Even the one that Virat was flummoxed. He was looking at the pitch. Nothing wrong with the pitch. That's the skill. If I was the bowler, I said, mate, it's in my hand. It's not at the pitch. I was the one who turned the ball. Sometimes when the ball turns, we always look at the pitch, but sometimes the skill is also with the bowler.
No, absolutely. I think Chase has had 2 very good games again, 3 for 25 on when the team's making 180. I think phenomenal. Everyone else except
And the
Cottrell
3
went
wickets.
for probably 3 wickets,
And who are his
absolutely,
3
and three
wickets?
pretty big wickets.
Rohit, Virat, Surya.
Yeah, as good as it gets there. And Venkatesh Iyer, 33 of 18, 4 fours, 1 6, looked again. Do you think he's kind
Yeah,
of getting there? There's a sense of
yeah,
belonging that
yeah.
scoring this on 2 back-to-back occasions would feel pretty good.
Yeah, and also this is how his confidence will grow. He'll also realize that how to play at number 6 is new to him. He's at, like I said in the pre-show, he had 1 season of mid order batting, so he's just getting his exposure. But he has the skills, he has the power, he has the confidence, and the team is backing him. That's good to see. Sometimes when you go and play over there, you feel that okay, what if I don't? And then what happens? Do I still get a go at the top of the order? Is that curtains for me? Just like when Virendra Sehwag started opening and Saurav forced him to open, he was always given the insurance of always coming back and batting in the middle order if it didn't work out. That it didn't, and he went on to become a legend is a different question. But he knew that if for some reason I don't make it, I can always fall back on the middle order and get another crack at it.
And do you reckon that that's going to be a challenge for someone like Ishan Kishan? Because with 2 below par performances, Kale potentially walking in, is that now he's probably a bit more confused than he was before. The role, I don't. Do you reckon he doesn't have a chance to kind of come below in the order now?
No, I don't think he has the game to come below. I think we've got people like Shreya Shire and everybody waiting in the wings. Those are the guys to come below. I mean, if you forcefully do it, that's different. See, you need to have raw power, and Ishan Kishan is somebody who's always open, whether it's under 19 India, whether it's
Yeah.
Jharkhand, whether it's India A, whether it's Mumbai Indians. He's always open, batted in the top 3. So for him to bat at 4 or 5 wouldn't make any sense. That's almost like saying, playing a forward at left back and playing a left back at forward just because you have to, because we have people to do it. If we did not,
That's
if we
right.
didn't have a Ishan, if we didn't have a Shreya Shayar, if we didn't have a Rishabh, if we didn't have a Surya, it was different. But we have these people. So he'll have to wait for his chance. Ultimately, he'll have to bat in the top 3. And when KL or Rohit or Virat injured, stroke, taking a break, whenever he can make it his own. But at this point in time, the other slots are pretty much full because I think 3 is Virat, 4 will probably be Iyer, 5 will probably be uh, Pant, 6 maybe Surya, 7 being Venkatesh Iyer. So it all depends. Ravindra Jadeja coming to the mix will also throw it up because that's another all-rounder coming in. So we might go with 2 all-rounders. What are we going to do? Lots. But I feel Ishan Kishan's best slot is at opener. He feels most comfortable there. I don't think he'll be 5 outside, defensive bowling going on. That's he's normally at that stage 40 batting. Here he'll be 0 batting. It's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to I remember what you were telling us about KL Rahul in the ODIs, batting in the middle versus opening. I suppose
Yeah,
different
yeah.
people are built for different things in different formats. Now, talking about Virat Kohli, I thought he
And
looked.
just
Yes,
on
please.
that, in test match, in multi-days, you can still do it because time is not a problem.
Yeah,
Time to get set when you're not comfortable with the flow of the game, you need time. In 5-day cricket, when the bowling is really good, you've got time. Very seldom are you short of time in Test cricket or in days cricket, multi-days cricket. But here, somebody batting out of position, not given time, is not fair to him. If he has the time, it's fine. If you're chasing 140 in 50 overs, KL can go at number 4. But if you're chasing 340, is he comfortable? If you're chasing 320, which is more often than not, now one day cricket is a 50 is a 300 game plus minus 20. So that is when you want to see if KL Rahul at 4 outside the power play, first 10 overs gone, is he comfortable or does he like to set up the game? Some people like to set up the game. Some people like the game to be slightly set and take it from there. And some people like to finish it. So you have to go with whatever role the person is comfortable in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, horses for courses, depending on the format. And talking about Kohli, I thought he looked very fluid. I thought he liked the even he spoke at the end. He was trying to strike the balance. He was going for his shots. Once wickets fell, he tried to kind of balance. Of course, on the other side, we had some explosive batting as well. To me, he looks pretty good. He looks. I mean, I don't know. Do you see any other flaws? Do you, are you? I'm guessing you're not too concerned about that particular century. I mean, anyway, it's a T20 format. Centuries are hard to come by. But as a batsman, he seems to be looking pretty solid.
Yeah, for me, the century is just a matter of time. What is a little bit of a concern is the fact that he's starting off like a house on fire. Then after that, when the spinners come, he's slowing down. It was an interesting stat that in the IPL, in the middle, once the spinners came, his strike rate was down to 96, and that happened today. And today we are saying Kohli was brilliant. By the end of the day, his strike rate was 123. But at one point of time, it was a lot more. So first, he takes on the fast bowlers, gets a jump start. After that, the spinners come, he slows down. How he will handle that bit, nobody knows better than him. And I'm sure he will do it because he is a once in a lifetime player.
You're right. I mean, it's not just the striker. Across formats, I think there's been a lot written and seen about, how he's losing wickets to the Adil Rashids and Moeen Alis and, the spinners essentially. And clearly that probably does play on his mind. But again, I think as, from a pure quality of batsmanship, really good to see. I mean, this has been fantastic. 2-0. Again, I suppose we're going to have the similar format of the last match, probably some experimentation. Any particular changes? I mean, would you even want to see, for example, I was wondering about Venkatesh not getting a chance to bowl. Is it not important for him to get at least a couple of overs just to test him out? So, do you see any changes in roles or players coming in for the final game? How do you see that playing out?
No, I feel they might go with the same team, because it's also about giving confidence. And Rohit said this is not an experiment time. This is about actually getting the guys who are going to play the World Cup for you game time. So if that's the way this coach feels, the captain feels that, I'm sure the coach feels that way. That's why they're in it together. And it's important that, you give the guys. So there are some guys who've done well, but I still feel, you might give Ishan Kishan. I'm sure he's going to be in the squad because, it's a 20-member squad with the world that we live in right now. And he'll be in the squad. He will be a replacement. He'll be an awesome guy to have as a replacement if there's an injury, which we hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, I mean, can you even imagine having somebody like an Ishan Kishan in your squad just in case you need him at any point? Brilliant fielder, gun of an arm from the boundary, superb catcher. He's an all-round cricketer. So I just feel they'll still want to give more confidence to this team, win this West Indies team that has beaten England 3-2, beat them 3-0. This is confidence building. This is building blocks, which you carry forward to a tournament like a World Cup and say, okay, we've beaten West Indies 3-0, we've beaten blah, blah, blah 3-1, we've beaten this one 4-2. So, we are there. This all these wins contribute when you go and walk out on the T20 World Cup on day one and play the crunch match.
All right. I think we have spoken so much about Jayajitha. Thank you so much. But before you go, I know obviously you're going to be back to your Ranji Trophy duties tomorrow. I mean, maybe just give us a quick glimpse of the match that you are covering. What's the pitch like? What are the targets? Who are the players you are watching out for at the Rajkot game? Would be good to hear before we call it a day.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised to see an even sprinkling of grass all over Rajkot. I mean, Rajkot grass on a Rajkot pitch. And I've got some very experienced co-commentators in Rajat Bhatia and Vivek Razdan and Manvinder Bisla and Ajay Mer, who've been around covering cricket and playing in different capacities for a long, long time. All of us went to the pitch on the first day. We were amazed to see grass in the middle of the pitch. But having said that, 2 years of no cricket, so these are wickets which are fresh. Not much cricket has happened over here, and it was good to see that the cricket back. Just the boys were so happy. It was just unbelievable. It almost felt like young kids been left in the park after school to play around. It was a playground for them. They were taking extra catches. They were doing knocking. Even after the game, people were doing laps as if they were let out of jail. That's how they felt. So that's the reason why. Kudos to the BCCI. Yeah, there are a couple of good players over here. There was one wicketkeeper batsman who made his debut today. In fact, big shoes to fill. Small shoes to fill as in size, but big shoes to fill. Otherwise, he's replaced Parthiv Patel as a wicketkeeper, because last time Ranji Trophy happened for Gujarat, Parthiv Patel was the captain, and he's the daddy player in this team. But right now, there's a young keeper called Heth Patel who comes and gets a 72 today and really looked his part. Confident, the way he took on the bowlers. Who else? Rajat Patidar, who's played IPL, played a neat innings. Aditya Srivastav played a nice knock. Nagaswala picked up 5 wickets, who's been traveled with the Indian team as a net bowler. He looked really good, the left arm seamer. So it's still early days, and because they haven't played this version, this version takes a while to get used to. Firstly, you play one day, you bowl 22 overs, you come back and bowl again. That doesn't happen in T20. That doesn't happen in one-day cricket. So the body gets attuned to a different sort of cricket. This is. So it's still early days, but in Pan-India, like you were saying, some really good performances. Some youngsters, Yesh Thul and some of the others that have come through. Satit Chet take 5 wickets. Ishan Porel doing really well. Yeah, Bengal in a tight corner because they didn't bat well, but I'm sure they can pull it through, batting well in the 4th innings. But Pan-India, Abhishek Sharma got 98, Prabh Simran got 100, Sarfraz 200, Ajinkya Rahane 100, and all over there's been runs flowing and wickets also. So good to see that people are getting back into. They've lost this. 705 days is a long, long time, and and there's going to be a break again because we play till the 6th of March. Then I think there's a pre-quarter final, which is so in the 9 groups. So in the top 8 groups, the team that comes with the least points or the least net run rate will play the number 1 team in Group 9. So that's a pre-quarter final on the 17th of March in Kolkata. Then everything shuts shop for 2 months. So, and then everything is after the IPL, the rest of the playoffs. So after the 20th of March, there will be only 8 teams for whom the season will continue. The others, the season will be over. So having said that, under the circumstances, in the days that we had, this was the only way you could do it. And I'm really glad that the boys are in the park.
I can imagine that even as a commentator, probably after 700 plus days, it's going to take a bit of a while. So I'll let you go, have a good rest, enjoy the commentary and the match tomorrow. I'll see you back again on Sunday. Thank you so much.
Yeah.